Have Ubisoft just ruined Season 3 and potentially the entire future of Rainbow Six Siege? Hey, what's up guys, Irish Turtle here, and in today's video I want to talk to you guys about that topic. Have Ubisoft potentially ruined the entire future of their game with their new announcements to how the map rotations in Season 3 and the future are going to be working? So for those of you guys that maybe aren't aware, Ubisoft on the 24th of August, a link in the description below will take you to this forum thread, announced they would be changing how ranked and casual playlists are rolled out for the foreseeable future. They've essentially announced that for ranked, the playlist will mirror that of the Pro League, meaning that when you play ranked, you're only going to have access to 9 of the maps in Siege, those 9 maps being the ones that the pro players pick from when they start up, the start of their games. They've essentially said the reason they're doing this is because they want ranked to be the most competitive it possibly can, and that they want to make it so that when you're playing ranked, you're mirroring the ESL Pro League and playing like the pros do. They've also said that with this change, it means the new maps, the brand new map coming, Theme Park, will not be in the ranked playlist. Their reasoning for this is that they want people to be able to learn the new maps in casual and in custom games, and to make sure that when the map goes into ranked, they can eliminate any glitches or exploits prior to it being put in the ranked map pool, and therefore, people can't abuse these sorts of things to get a higher rank or win matches they shouldn't win. They've then announced that in casual, the map playlist there is being reduced to 15 maps. Essentially, what this means is they've announced that they're pulling 2 of the maps out of the map pool completely for Rainbow Six Siege. The reason they've done this, in their own words, is that they're aware that the casual playlists for Siege is there to help players make the process of learning maps as easy as possible. They've essentially said that they've identified a steep learning curve that new players have to face in terms of map knowledge, and that's one of the reasons, the ways they're planning to address it, by removing 2 of the maps from the play pool. So for those of you guys that maybe aren't aware, they've decided that from all of the maps available, they're going to remove Favela and Yacht. Now, personally, I think these maps do need a rework, and they have said some of the maps removed will be reworked by their level design team. So potentially we might see Yacht or Favela return. But they have also said not all maps that are removed from the casual playlist will be reworked, but some of them will over the course of years to come. So basically what that means is they've pulled these maps out and there's no guarantee these maps are going in. They've also said they're quickly approaching the limit of our data sizes, and this will require a rework of how our maps are stored. As a result, we are currently planning on removing maps from the games entirely down the road. However, this is not in Season 3. So essentially what this means is, when it comes to casual, you have access to Bank, Clubhouse, Oregon, Cafe, Consulate, Chalet, Border, Coastline, Skyscraper, Canal, Hereford, University, House, Plane, and the new map Theme Park. However, you have no access to playing Favela or Yacht. So they basically just pulled them out completely and said the only way you can play these maps is if you jump into custom matches at the moment. However, in the future, after Season 3, these maps might completely disappear due to Ubisoft running out of space to store these games. Now, I know that's a lot of information to take in, but I'm now going to attempt to break it down and point out why I'm not overly impressed with this change, and why I think it might potentially ruin the future of Siege. So first of all, let's take a look at the casual changes, because obviously this is something that's quite minor. What they've announced here is they've removed 2 of the maps. Now, I understand that these 2 maps were 2 of the most hated when it came to Siege. Whenever people said, what is your least favourite map, 9 times out of 10 it would be Favela, then it would be Yacht, and then it would just sort of spread out and people had different opinions. Some people weren't overly keen on Bartlett University, other people had issues with maps like Canal. There were generally issues here and there, but the 2 that were mainly hated were Favela and Yacht. So I completely understand that pulling them out of the casual map rotation, I understand that. I think that's a good thing, and I think that the fact that they're going to rework them is also a very good thing to know. However, where I find issue is that they might not bring those maps back ever. One of the issues with Siege you have to remember is that there isn't really a lot of variety when you actually break it down. One of the major problems people had when we were told Season 2 was going to be delayed is that a lot of people said, oh, I'm getting bored, I don't like playing the same maps constantly, I like a new map here and there, to change things up a little bit, so that when I'm playing the old maps, I can also play a new one. And essentially what this means is, you're 2 maps down. So for Season 3, we haven't actually gained a map, we've technically lost one. So, that's already a bad start for Ubisoft, because, it means we're not going to see these maps. And again, they've announced that they might be pulling out other maps from the game. And some of the people's favourite maps might get pulled. For example, House is not in the Ranked Pro scene because it's considered such a small map, it's not very good for Pro League. Because of that, does that mean Ubisoft are going to remove it? Because I know for a fact, a lot of people love House. People think, while it's not the best map level design wise, it has this great playability because of the size and the way it all works. And in my opinion, it's just not a good thing that we're not going to be seeing that map, potentially in the future, if they decide, oh hey, we don't like that. And I don't think that's good. Also, another issue is that they've announced the catering for the newest players for the game. Now, when it comes to Siege, you've got to remember, the largest point of their player base is in the middle of their game. Essentially, you have a small group of new people joining the game, you have a large group of base players who've had it for a while, who know what they're doing, but aren't at a Pro League standard, and those are the guys that play casual and ranked. Every so often, you play when you can, you play after work, and you enjoy yourself. And then you have the top elite players being in the Pro League. Now, essentially, Ubisoft has said, oh, well, when it comes to casual, we are catering only for the new players, essentially. We're taking out the difficult maps because we don't want them to struggle, we don't want them to lose interest, and we don't like that. And in my opinion, that's not a good way of treating new players. There are many more problems they need to address before looking at the maps as an issue for why new players aren't enjoying the game. And it kind of feels like, to me, they're just kind of trying to pass off the problem and blame it on something else other than the issues with community. And so in my opinion, that's not a good change. I don't think it's going to make casual much more fun, because again, it's reducing the amount of maps in the play pool. And now, let's move on to ranked. Now, this is something that I really, really don't like. Again, as I've just previously said, the majority of players are in this middle ground, where we're not pro players and we're not new players. And ranked, when you look at it, completely, it should be all the maps. We're not all playing Pro League, we're not all pro players, and we'd like to see map variety. Again, one of the biggest problems is there isn't a lot of variety in the maps. And if you reduce that to 9 maps total for ranked, the people that mainly play ranked are going to get burnt out and bored very, very quickly. In fact, it's going to be quicker than that of casual players, because there's even fewer maps for them to enjoy. And you also then have to think, the casual maps, you're not getting the new map theme park if you're playing ranked. You're only going to be having the old maps, so there's even more chance there for getting burnt out. The next thing you're going to hear is that Ubisoft have gone, oh, well, the new operators, we're going to release them in Season 3, but only to casual, because you can't play new operators in ranked, because, if you're using them, you don't get to try them out before they go into ranked. It's the same thing, and it baffles me that they've gone, oh, you can't play the new map in ranked, but you can play the new operators in ranked. That's fine. They might have bugs and exploits, but we don't care about that. They're fine to play in ranked. It's just odd that it's one way for one thing and another for another thing. It doesn't make sense, and there's no coherency there between what they're stating. And to me, again, it's this case of they're trying to do something, but they're not going about it the right way. And I don't agree with that. I think ESL should be kept to their map pools, and that's perfectly fine. But the rest of us that play ranked don't want to play like the pros all the time. We don't want to have to use pro strats all the time. We want to be able to play maps like Plane, and try strategies that you've never seen before, or try things a bit differently. And it disappoints me that Ubisoft have decided to make a change so close to the end of the season without really talking to their community first and discussing whether or not this is a good idea. In my opinion, it seems like what they've done is they've gone to a group of the pros and said, hey, how do you think it would go down if we made it so ranked was exactly like the Pro League? And the pro players probably said, hell yes, this is great, because it means we can play ranked and practice strategies for the maps that we would normally play in ESL. And, the casual players, well, they're going to have to suffer. They can play ranked and they're going to get less variety because, you know, it means we can train a lot easier than having to play these filler maps in between the ones that we would normally play. So, you know, like I said, that to me is just not good. I don't agree with that, and I don't think it's going to end well for Siege. So, you know, that's my opinion, and again, I want to stress that it is just my opinion. Like I said, this might be the end of Siege in the future. I think a lot of people aren't happy with this. If you check the Reddit threads, the forums, Twitter, everywhere, people are up in arms about this. And as I've said, you know, Ubisoft have done this with very little transparency. They didn't announce this midway through Season 2. They announced it right at the end, a couple of weeks before they're rolling out the new changes. And because they've done that, there is very little time for the community to go, hey, we don't like this, we don't agree with this. And although a lot of people are doing that, I don't think Ubisoft are going to listen, because it won't be something that's discussed enough before that point. And I can't say that's filling me with confidence. A developer that does something like that, so close to making a change to when it happens, is very shady, and I'm not looking forward to where they might take things in the future, because if this is what they're doing now, like I said, how long does it take them to go, oh, well, you can't play new operators in ranked because they could be exploitable? It's not a lot, it's not a different jump, it's not too far to go, and I imagine it's going to happen probably fairly soon if this rank change goes through without any kind of community uproar. And like I said, there is currently a lot of uproar, and it just, to me, I don't see it going that well. I think one of the other important things to remember is when a bug happens in ranked or on an operator or a map, if it's in ranked, it gets patched fairly quickly because Ubisoft go, oh, well, it's affecting people's rank, we'll fix it immediately. If it's in casual, well, you know, that's just not going to happen very quickly, is it? Because they're going to go, oh, it doesn't matter, we don't have to change it too quickly because it's not affecting ranked play. And, you know, that's just not good. And the other issue here is that Season 3 was meant to have a system where, oh, they said we can implement changes and turn them on and off really quickly to see if they work. But for some reason they can't do that for the maps. They can't say, oh, here's an exploit, here's a quick fix, we can turn it on and off to see if it works or if it doesn't work. It's just, again, it's one of those things of they're being very counterintuitive to what they've said. And like I said, it's something to watch out for, guys. I think I'm going to have to start watching Ubisoft a lot more closely with this game. I feel like they're starting to become a company that's not listening to their community, and I'm potentially only listening to a very small number of them, or are catering to the smaller spectrums. Those of us in the middle of the playlist who, you know, aren't pro players, aren't new players, it seems like we're kind of just being left to list and deal with the changes they make for all the other players, and that to me just isn't good. And well, that's the point. I'm going to throw it out to you guys. What do you guys think to these changes? Do you think having only 9 maps in ranked is a good thing? Do you think we should all be playing like pros and therefore it's perfectly fine? Or do you agree with me that a bit of variety makes the game a bit more fun? Also, what do you think to the casual maps? What do you think to them potentially completely removing maps in the future? Do you agree that Favela and Yacht do need pulling out because they're completely crap? Or do you think that Ubisoft just needs to rework them and then re-implement them and not remove any maps at all? Another thing, actually, just quickly before I finish, is one of the reasons I think that Ubisoft talk about having a limit on their data size is that when Siege first released, they didn't think they would have such a smash hit of a game. They didn't realise their game was going to be so popular, and because of that, Ubisoft didn't invest a large amount of money into their servers, into their data storage, and I think the issue is that even though the game's grown, this billion-dollar company hasn't influenced any more money into the game. They haven't given it any more, they just think it's fine as is. And this is how they're dealing with it. They're just pulling maps out because there's no more money. And like I said, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's good. And I do want to hear your opinions, guys. I really do. If you're like me and you don't agree with it, feel free to share this video with all your friends. Let them know it's something that's happening. And I would also urge you guys to head over to the Twitter pages, the Reddit pages, the forums. Let them know. Let them know you don't agree with this. Because the only way we as a community can make a change is if we take a stand now. And we make it very clear to Ubisoft, we don't agree with this. We don't think this is a good change. And we don't plan on letting them like just get away with it. Because, you know, like I said, the Reddit threads, they're completely mental at the minute of people saying they don't agree with it. They don't like it. They're not happy with it. And adding a voice to that is always important. Letting developers know they can't do this shit is very important. So I hope you guys join me. I hope you guys agree with me that this needs to not be a thing. Obviously, if you do agree with Ubisoft, that's fair enough. Feel free to let me know that as well in the comments below. I'm always happy to hear someone else's opinion. If you think it's alright, that's fair enough. Obviously, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like button. It really helps me out, helps the video get more views, helps more people know that this is a thing that's happening. Obviously, if you didn't enjoy the video, feel free to dislike. That's completely up to you. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. I produce regular Rainbow Six Siege content. I've taken a little break over the last few weeks just to sort of recharge my batteries, but I'm back and I'm looking forward to making some more content for you guys. So it's always worth subscribing and turning on that notification bell, because my upload times aren't very specific and the only way to know when my videos go live is to get that bell button turned on. So other than that, guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.